Okay, so that by tweaking the handles and the anchor points, you could fix all these weird shapes. For example, here, same problem. The two anchor points handles are overlapping each other, so you get these weird corners here. And to make it smooth, I just shorten one of the handles, and that fixes it. And so on and so forth. You go and fix each and every anchor point on this outline, and then you have this good, perfect shape of the chair. Okay, the problem is when you go about filling it, there's one problem you can see is that hole right there, showing the white background. It's not done yet. And if you think about using compound path, it just doesn't work for later on when we try and go about filling in the colors. So here what I do is make a new layer, and on that new layer you draw another outline, and we take the negative space and treat it as a positive space and fill it with white color, same color of the background, and there you go. So you have that. Of course you can use the clipping mask, but I'm not going to go into that. And so you can see we have the two paths, the two outlines in two layers, nice and easy, right? So before we go into the next magic moment, we're just gonna move it to the side on the right. So then once I start filling in color, like when I'm picking it with my black arrow, the selection tool, the first outline, the body of the chair, and then I can use an eyedropper tool. Shortcut key is I for eye, easy. And then I can suck any pixel, any color in on screen, and then voila, you see the green, any point, just any point. Well, you know there are different tones of the chair, so try to pick the average to diffuse, okay? Not too bright, not too dark, right in the middle. And then you have like a monotone of a green chair. We start with that. And of course, on top we have the white tone, okay, to keep. So while we work side by side, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take any color on the left from the reference image and put it onto this drawing that we just did on the right. Obviously, right now, if I put in a stroke, you can see better that this does not have any tone variation on the body of the chair. It's just a gigantic flat green fill of the whole shape, and we don't want that. And that's not good enough because we're drawing a 3D object. It's not just like, you know, Paint, Microsoft, Windows. No, not just that. We're better than that. So next tool is the most important tool, the mesh tool. Mesh tool, shortcut U, letter U. So how to go and explain this is, remember, when you click on any path, so let me select that path first, black arrow, select my path, body of chair, go to U or the mesh tool. Okay, if you click on any vertical line, it's going to give you like a slice, a section line horizontally. If you go on to any horizontal line, it's going to give you a vertical line. If you click on any pixel inside that outline, anywhere, just anywhere, it's going to give you two lines. The first one is vertical, second one is horizontal. So it's trying to break and take this chair and slice it into grids. So with these grids, we can fill in different tones of colors. The more grid lines or grid points you have, the more colors you can put in, and the more realistic your drawing will be. Of course, one principle though, if you could do it with 1 point, don't do it with 2 or 3. Enough is enough. So first thing I try with is put one in the middle, so it breaks it into like 4 quadrants, if you will, and like a cross. Of course, it's distorted because it's calculated by the shape is of the chair, and on the right hand side we have the offset of the seat to the side, and that breaks the perfect cross. But it doesn't matter because we can always fix and change the positions of the grid points. So I put 1. Remember, the top layer of the white hole does not distort anything, does not make into the calculations of these grids, of this gradient mesh. Okay, so if I keep clicking, right, let me try, say, just on the middle one, click on this one. So it's only giving me a horizontal line because I'm already clicking on a vertical line. Repeating that, give me this nice even mesh of an organic form. So remember, you want to try to even out the grids because this is the first time we're doing this. So you don't really know, you don't have the experience yet, but let's put it this way, to really map out the whole, like whole mesh, that where should be compressed and where should be even out. So I just leave it at like almost the same area for each grid. So the next two, very important too, you need to keep in your mind and get out of this tutorial is the letter A, shortcut A, which is the white arrowhead, the direct selection 2 up there, exactly this one. Remember that one. So Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, AI, right? A and I. So we just have I for eyedropper to suck the color out and assign it to something else. So we get an identical and coherence look. And the other is A. So you go with A first. So activating the A shortcut key, we are in the direct selection 2. Pick your anchor point or mesh point. Say I want to do, I like the color on the edge or near the area where people will sit on, right? And select it. So of course I can move it around, I can correct it, I can tweak it and make it look better, make the mesh better, but you don't know what's better until you assign color to it. So what this mesh is doing, or how it works, is it calculates the gradients or the tone variation between 2 anchor points. So, and they all have the same color now, so you don't see any effects. It's not very 3-dimensional now. But as soon as I start assigning color to these anchor points, you will see the tone variation and how the shades comes in and how it would become a 3D illustration. So you go A and then I, right? Let me try with the shadows, just right below the white hole. This void, just underneath this void, it kind of just curves back, so then the light from above doesn't get to it that much. So I go A, assign a point, and I to suck that color instantly. Voila. Color get transfers. What happens is you're telling A and you're telling Illustrator where you want the color goes. That's A, select it. And I telling the Illustrator software that what color or which pixel's color you want to assign to the point already selected. And then keep doing this. See if I could try to get to that bit on the edge. It's a little light. And for these guys, okay, I can always go to the lighter ones so that you see the glossy, refractive, highlight, specular spot there. So it suggests or implies a sharper edge. Well, of course, it's not good enough, but it's a good start. You have this nice watercolor effects or marker effects, but remember, it's even better than that because it's more powerful. It's vector. You can resize this anytime. Remember when I was evening out the grids, but now I'm adding more mesh line anytime, moving them to different positions anytime as needed, just ticking around this, compressing it, putting the grid points closer together. That gives me like a sharper drop off. So you can see it implies a sharp edge of the chair.